Okay guys, so we're on to scale number 2. Now, all the scales that I'm talking about at this moment, I said we've already learned in your Standard of Excellence Red Book. Okay, we understand them, they're solid, all is good. But now what we're doing is we're just putting all the scales now to what we call the Florida Bandmaster Association's scale pattern, or the FBA All-State scale pattern. It is the standard scale pattern for all scales to be played from middle school to high school. It's like your Sunshine State standards, but for band. So the scale that I'm talking about right now is going to be the F concert scale, or your D major scale. That is equivalent to exercise number 96 in your book, exercise 96. So if you need to turn to 96 in your Red Book so you can see what I'm talking about and you have something to reference, feel free to do that right now. All right, and I want to go ahead and try and play that scale. Let's practice it and review it. Now, remember, check your key signature. It's a little different from your concert B flat or your G major scale. We are adding one extra sharp in there. So we have F sharp, but then now we have C sharp, or as we like to call it, the weed whacker note, C sharp. So let's go ahead and try that. Let's try and review just exercise 96 together. And I apologize if I have any squeaks or squawks along the way. And here we go, guys. 1 and 2, and ready, and... your D major scale, or your F concert scale as we call it, pretty solid at this point. Like I said with this B flat video, if you need to pause this and review 96 for the next couple minutes or however long you need to practice, feel free to do that before moving on. Now, if you're comfortable with that top line, we're going to do the same thing we did with your concert B flat scale or your G major scale. Get out that scale sheet that I had you print out, and I want you to go ahead and reference that at this time. Okay, we're back. So let's look at this 1 octave major scale sheet, alto saxophone. So the scale now that we're looking for is D major, or F concert, which is in parentheses, okay? So let's look here on our scale sheet, and boom, D major, F concert. It says 4 on your scale sheet. Those are insignificant, by the way. Don't pay attention to the numbers on the scale sheet. But for identification purposes, it says 4 on your scale sheet, guys. Remember, check your key signature, F sharp, C sharp. Now, check this out again. Compare and contrast it to exercise 96. Look at this. It's almost identical, guys. Easy, easy, easy peasy. The only thing that we need to worry about now is this arpeggio looking at us right there. Remember, the arpeggio is different from your Red Book. I remember when I said in the other video, your arpeggio is made up of the first note, the third note, the fifth note, and the 8th note of the scale. So make sure, guys, that you are looking at that. Okay, so the first note of your scale is going to be D. Then the third note of your scale is F sharp. 5th note of your scale is A natural. And then the 8th note of your scale is D, or high D. And then you look, it goes backwards, 5, 3, 1, A, and F, and then D again, okay? So your arpeggio, remember, for every scale from here on out, is made up of the first note, the third note, the 5th note, and the 8th note of your scale, okay? So, but everything else is exactly the same, saxophones. Exactly the same when you compare and contrast this thing to exercise 96 in your book. All right, so let's try it. Okay, guys, here we go. D major, F concert scale. Remember, 2 sharps, F sharp, and weed whacker note, C sharp. Here we go, guys, with the arpeggio. 1 and 2 and 3 and... So now let's look at just the arpeggio, because that's the only thing that's different. I want to make sure we get that together. All right, so your arpeggio, remember, is 1, 3, 5, and 8 on your scale. The first one of your scale is your D, so let's just play that individually. D. All right, F sharp. A. And then high D. A. F sharp. And then your low D. All right, so make sure that you go through those notes separately because of the jump. And if you can't, or you have some issues with the fingerings, or you need to take your time with that, feel free to just focus on the arpeggio at the moment. Once you guys are able to get the arpeggio, same thing like you did with your G major scale or your B flat concert, go back and put the scale with the arpeggio. Once you are able to play it 3 times in a row, start increasing the tempo to where you can eventually play it in what we call the cut time format, because that is going to be the format, again, that you're going to need to submit your D major scale or your F concert scale for a test grade or your assignment grade. And let me just demonstrate really quick, just going up the scale, a refresher of the tempo that I'm looking for. So if you guys have any questions or any concerns or need any fires put out, please call me, or not call me, email me, okay? Email me. I have my email on 24/7, and I can sit down and I can walk you through step by step any issues or problems you may have and getting the scale done. Remember, guys, I had said a while back, you need to know scales in order to get out of beginning band. So the concert B flat and the concert F major are 2 of those scales out of the 3 that we've already learned that you need to be comfortable and confident with as part of your audition process from beginning band to either concert or symphonic or jazz band for next year. And they need to be done in this FBA formula or FBA pattern. And you need to make sure that you do that in the cut time format that I'm asking you to do that, okay? So again, have any questions? Please email me and I will do the best I can to walk you through it. And I will see you guys hopefully soon. Bye. Have fun.